Hey everyone, welcome to Food, Wine, and Whiskey. I am Rob, your host, and want to let you know on this episode we are talking boards. Carter and I discuss the charcuterie board, the cheese board, the anti-pasta board, just the board in general, and how creative you can be with it, what occasions to use it, how to use it, and it's just a fun conversation. We give you some ideas that we have on building a board and for what occasions you can build a board. So let's jump into the episode. We hope you enjoy it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Food, Wine, and Whiskey. I'm Rob.
Carter here.
And fun conversation today. You ready to jump into it?
Absolutely. Time to get creative.
It's a blank board.
Yes.
I was going to say canvas.
Yeah, I thought you were going to slip up there, but you caught it.
Blank board.
Nice.
We're going to talk charcuterie boards. Underrated, overrated, appropriately rated. Where they fall in, people, where you see them. Do people make them? Are they using them? Is it just more of an appetizer? Do you see them set up as a meal? How do you think charcuterie boards, in your opinion? Because for me, I think they're underrated.
I agree.
Underutilized too.
I think they're utilized appropriately, but not necessarily like. I think they could be utilized in other aspects of a meal.
Okay. Yeah.
I do see them more in like the appetizer type, precursor type to a meal type of situation, rather than like used as a way to present a meal.
That's why. That's the only reason I say underappreciated, underutilized.
Gotcha.
Because of that, and we can get into that. But fan of a charcuterie board. We're saying charcuterie board, not a cheese board, because I see a lot of people who might go, they call a cheese board a charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Or an anti-pasta, which is mostly your meats.
Yeah.
A charcuterie board. But a charcuterie to me is, and I may be wrong, I might be completely wrong.
Yeah.
But it's everything.
Yeah.
It's throwing a whole bunch of different stuff on there, not staying in just kind of one lane.
I agree. What you're talking about, meats, cheeses, nuts, there's lots of different ways you can go.
Yeah.
And you need to have a good combination of a few things.
Some balance.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, and obviously some crackers and things like that to go along with it.
Yeah, so we're recording this episode today, and let me say first, thank you to all of our listeners who listen and support the show. We really appreciate it. And if you can leave a like and a review on any of the platforms you listen to, Google, Apple, Spotify, whatever it might be, greatly appreciated and really helps the show out. We do also want to let people know, recently we started putting some cameras in front of us and doing the show where we're recording, and we have the Food, Wine, and Whiskey YouTube channel, and our podcast will be put on there.
Yep.
And that way, when we have bottles and food and things like that in front of us, if you like to watch YouTube and see it that way, you're welcome to do so. If you enjoy listening to just the audio when you're out in the yard or driving or whatever, continue to do that. We appreciate all formats of listening and watching us.
Oh yeah, for sure. And when you get onto YouTube, if you're into that, subscribe, get the notifications, all that kind of thing. Yeah,
hit the like. Yeah, absolutely.
We that helps us get more exposure, and so we would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, we're starting here. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, and I know my man here is starting to do some reels and some different things that he's going to start
social medias
putting on the gram and maybe different other platforms. So keep your eye out for that.
Yeah, follow us anywhere. Food, Wine, and Whiskey.
Yep.
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Those are the main ones. I need to probably get on TikTok or some of the other ones, but not there yet.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's so much out there, and if you're like me, when you have a little one, oh man, it makes it even harder to do anything.
Yeah.
Any little aspect of your time, you feel like you're wasting it if you're not. Anyway, so
been there, done that.
Yeah, but okay, so we're talking charcuterie boards today, but we also have a pour.
Not yet, we don't.
We haven't opened.
We're about
it.
to.
So we were kind of mulling this around and going, what do we want to do? What do we want to do?
And this is our segment that we're always going to tell you what's the pour.
Yeah. So today we're doing a Madeira, and Rob, I think you actually pretty much introduced me to Madeira. I've never even had one before.
And recently for me is getting introduced to Madeira. And, for those who don't know, most probably do, it's a fortified wine from Madeira.
Yeah.
But, similar, but not exactly like a port or a sherry.
Sherry, yeah.
The difference would be, and I'm no expert, but from my understanding, the difference would be way more oxygen has been put on this, or this has been exposed to way more oxygen. So it's pretty much indestructible.
Yeah.
When you think about opening a wine, oxygen's bad for it. Drink it within a couple of days.
Yeah.
The more oxygen it touches, it's going to go bad and it's no good.
Yeah.
This, you could probably open up, and it has been open for a couple of weeks and still good, and probably could stay open for a couple months to a year and be perfectly
it'd
fine.
still be fine.
Because
Yeah.
oxygen, it's got an immune system.
Yeah. This thing is built to last.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure. Yeah.
So-
What's the history behind Madeira? I mean, is it just goes back to the days where if you put wine on a ship and you were shipping it across to another country?
Well, I think that was port where that kind of started. I think Madeira was. I'm not sure exactly the history. I know it goes back as far as like Thomas Jefferson and old people like that who were huge Madeira fans.
Okay.
And would drink it like crazy. So, and if you notice on this bottle, it's 10 years old.
Yeah.
But do you know what this is?
I don't.
That's the grape varietal used to make it. So this is a Syrah.
Okay.
So in Madeira, there's 4 different varieties, and my pronunciation of these things are horrible, so I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
But Syrah is the one I can say. And
Okay.
there's another one called Bohn, Bohn, I think it is. But these are 2 of the varieties that you can use to make, and I think that bottle over there has a third one on there.
Okay.
But I don't know how to say them.
Okay.
But 4 varieties.
It is fun listening to us try and pronounce these stupid names.
Man, and if there's anybody in France or Italy that hears me talk about when we talk about wines and things like that, I just destroy it. But don't be offended. I do the same thing to the English language.
Yeah.
I destroy that
even
too.
the native language that we have, we destroy
nothing's
that.
native to me. I'm just horrible at thinking.
Yeah. Okay. So cheers. By the way, we need to start doing a glass clink here.
Yeah. This is Syrah, 10-year-old.
Wow, doesn't it smell amazing? Oh, man.
Little hello.
Good night.
A little put me on your lips. Okay.
Oh man, that's got like a figgy kind of nose to it, man. That's great.
And to me, with this one, I've had some other Madeiras that are big and punchy, big and this to me is more delicate and a little more finesse on it.
Wait, but it's got a finish that just goes, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, 19% alcohol. So
That's all?
that's it. Just a little bit. It's not like,
I'm
hazmat
surprised
or
you didn't
anything.
give me like a Russo pour here.
I think
up
it's
to the
19%.
medicinal.
What does that say?
It says 19%. Yeah.
You want to give your, I can't see what that
To meniscus level.
So surface tension.
Yeah. It might have a long night.
People who are bourbon people who listen to this know what we're talking about.
But anyway, quite good. Okay, so we're talking charcuterie boards
Which
here.
this would go with. You
Perfectly, right?
Hell
What a dessert wine. Like, okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if I necessarily call this dessert wine, but I'd call it fortified wine.
Fortified wine.
Underused, right? I mean, like, people don't drink them enough.
Fortified wines?
Yeah.
I totally agree. And I was one of those people up until a year ago.
So to go with a charcuterie board, though, beautiful wine. I
agree.
think. I mean,
With some cheeses.
Oh,
and
you've got all those savory qualities.
even the fruits and stuff.
Oh man, that's going to go perfectly, right?
Yeah, I think so. And you know what? Maybe we ought to try that sometime.
Definitely. And I'll also say another one that I particularly like with charcuterie boards. It's funny how we always start out with the drinks before we get into the food. But I really like bubbles with charcuterie boards because I think that, they cut through the acidity, the sweet. It has a little bit. I mean, not all of them have residual sugar, but like some of them have residual sugar. that kind of cuts through all the fats, like when you're eating cheeses and you're eating meats and that kind of thing.
Totally agree.
So
that's one thing I do like about the fortified wines is they're not that dessert. Some of them can be.
Yeah.
You can get a fortified wine that gets into that, a lot of residual sugar, 130 grams can be in there. But most of them, this one, not a lot of residual sugar to your point. So it's this good balance of a little bit to help with some of it and the cheeses and the fat, but not too much that, what you're having needs to be sweeter than what you're drinking.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Which
like
is where
dessert
the
wines,
PX sherries are kind of like more like they're sweeter.
Very sweet.
So you want to, and they're going to be sweeter than the dessert that you're eating. So,
that's right.
Yeah. Agreed.
Same with like a Sauternes or a Tokai.
Yeah. Which are also really good.
So we're going to sip on this.
Okay.
And enjoy it while we talk charcuterie boards. And let's start by saying we did a board today. We're recording this episode. You came over to the house, and your wife, your lovely wife, your beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
The ladies are upstairs hanging out. And we did a board for brunch. And I'd never done one before. And I saw it in a book that we have on charcuterie boards that you could do a brunch board, which I thought was pretty cool.
I liked it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Really fun. And I thought that, we did a pretty good job covering most of the bases. You had some egg, you had some sweetness, you had some thises and that's, all over the place.
Yeah.
But you can kind of go in any direction with it.
Had some smoked salmon.
Yeah, smoked salmon. That was good,
Had some crepes.
Crepes. My wife made some crepes, and she's a master. Yeah. So it was good, man.
Yeah, solid.
Underused. I think that would be something that
that's the first thing I would say about a charcuterie board. You heard me start by saying it's underutilized or underappreciated. Maybe appreciated is not the right word. Underutilized. People may not think of it this way. You and I talk a lot about when we host dinners, it's cooking a meal that can be pretty much done when guests arrive.
Yep.
So it's in whatever container it is, it's in the oven, whatever it is, and just ready to be served.
Right.
The thing that I like about charcuterie board, there's a couple things, but one, same thing applies. You can get this built and have final touches going on it before your guests arrive, and it can be diverse enough that if you're going to have a evening together, hours together,
right,
you're just continuing to munch, but with all kinds of different things that could go with different wines that you're opening up through the course of the night. And I just think it's a beautiful thing that's probably not done as much as it should be, in my opinion.
I agree. And we talked about this kind of before we started recording this episode, but one of the things I like is you can do it as a full meal, like a full meal charcuterie board. And, you've done this before. I think I've come over here where you slice up several pieces of steak. You've got some goat cheese. You got some this. You got some that.
Cheeses, cured meats. You put on some seafood, whether it's some grilled shrimp or a shrimp cocktail or a ceviche.
Yeah.
You can go all kinds of. Well, that's the point of a board, right?
Yeah.
We said it at the beginning. It's a blank board. I mean, there's no, unless I'm wrong, tell me, Carter, I'm not the king of charcuterie boards. Are there rules?
If there are, I don't know them.
I think there's some, simple, more kind of how you build your board rules, but the ingredients, there's no rules.
No, I don't think so.
I think, I've always heard people say for cheeses, you want an odd number, 3, 5, 7. You don't want an even number of cheeses.
Okay.
You put your, if you're going to have like a fig sauce by a brie cheese, you put it close together so that people know these go together. Things like that.
Right.
But for the most part, as far as ingredients, there's no rule.
No, I mean, I'd say
we had chicken and waffles on this.
Yeah,
morning.
we did. That was pretty cool. I like that. With a little spicy honey.
Little spicy honey.
That was good. I'd say like when it comes to cheeses, for example, I like to have at least 3 different types of cheeses, meaning like, I want a soft cheese, like a goat cheese. I want like a I want maybe like a sharp cheese, like a Wisconsin sharp cheddar or Irish cheddar or something like that. But I want them to contrast, I guess, is the main thing.
I agree. I like them to, and I like a yellow, a white, get some colored cheeses
maybe
in there.
Maybe a port wine cheese.
Port wine cheese, one of my favorites.
Stuff like that.
Manchego is my, a harder cheese to a softer cheese. Yeah, I'm with you.
I got no, I think you can kind of do what you want there, but like it's nice to have, it's nice to have a nice variety there.
Totally
on the cheeses. I'd say for the meat side, has become one of my recent absolute favorite is mortadella.
Oh, I love that. It's Italian bologna.
Italian bologna. It's delicious. I mean, holy crap.
Pistachios and...
what else?
Man, it's good. If you never had it, mortadella, go to your butcher, go to your grocery store. Hopefully they have it. They should. And get some sliced up. That's one of my favorites. It's become a favorite for pizza topping, too.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Definitely could see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's become like a recent favorite. But I like prosciutto. I like
prosciutto has fallen down for me.
Has it?
Yeah, it's gotten a little lower on the scale.
Okay.
I've gotten more into the sorpasadas and the different salamis, and believe it or not, even a good solid Spanish chorizo is good.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you make it like getting into more like some of the Latin American type stuff? Could you put a barbacoa or something like that? Could you put like, something, a little bit different on there?
I guess you could. The only reason you see me make this kind of with barbacoa is because the way it's cooked, it's like a braised beef. It just falls
it's
apart.
falling apart.
Yeah.
You would have to have like some tongs or something there.
Yeah. But absolutely you could. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of like other things that you could do. You could do different themed.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. We just mentioned brunch. You could do a dessert board.
Oh, a dessert board would be great.
You could do, think about all the different things you could put on a dessert board. And, you're going to a party or a cookout. You bring your board. You just pack up all the things. You build it there. It won't take 10 minutes to build it. There's dessert.
Man, so there's this restaurant. It's very much a chain restaurant, but I think they do a decent job. It's called Seasons 52.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but their little thing is like...
Give them the concept behind the name.
Okay, I don't really know.
Oh, 52 weeks in a year.
Oh,
Every week they're changing the menu based on...
why it's called that?
Yeah.
I just thought it was a cool name.
Based on what's in season for that week, the best ingredients, that's what they change to and tailor their menu to those ingredients.
What happened?
Nothing.
Okay, good.
So Seasons 52, you didn't know what it...
I had no idea that was the concept behind it.
So 52 weeks a year, and they change it based on the ingredients that are in season.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay, so I was thinking of them for more of their like little individual shot style desserts.
Those are pretty good.
Okay, so I was thinking of that kind of concept and applying it to a charcuterie board. Like say you had, you made a bunch of these little individual shot style desserts, and you could just, even if you went somewhere or whatever, you could put those in a little cooler, and then hey, when it's time, you whip them out, and it's like, hey, this is something fun.
Oh, I think that's a great idea. I don't know about are you thinking dessert board?
Yeah, for a dessert board, you can have that, and then maybe you have some other items,
chocolates
and brownies,
pastries. That would be a good idea.
Yeah,
but I forgot about those desserts that they have there.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, and it's just like a bite, You know
the number one wine on their wine list?
No clue.
Camus. How you feel about that?
I feel like I'm glad they make money on a not well produced wine. I would have actually been more okay with barefoot.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you were going to go yellowtail.
Yellowtail. Hey, what the tail? but anyway,
Yeah, so I think charcuterie boards, I think they get lost in, the kind of the cheese board kind of thing. Yeah. I think they get lost being the appetizer and not the star.
Yeah.
Where I think people should start thinking about making them the star, the meal. And I love what you said, the themes. I mean, it could be It could be Argentinian night.
Yeah.
And we're going to do an Argentinian kind of, charcuterie board and build it up with a bunch of fun stuff. And that could be cool.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're talking about like, you do more of like you call it the tour de beef type board or something. I mean, you can make chimichurri sauces. You can do, a different kind of, horseradish sauce or something like that. You could have different things to try the things.
Red wine mushrooms, and you can put different kind of French fries and potatoes on there, and make it this kind of very rich, savory kind of. That could get kind of heavy, but charcuterie board.
Yeah, but you can do a lot with it. Now, let me ask you a question: Are there go-to items if you're just going to build your basic board that you
appetizer board?
Yes.
So I got to have a minimum of 3 cheeses, 2 meats.
Okay.
And then filling around that.
Okay. Are nuts on your board?
Usually.
Okay.
I won't say 100% of the time, but 95 to 98% of the times we have nuts. Usually because I buy them, or we just have some in the house because we like nuts.
Okay. Me too. I'm a fan. Now, what about
favorite nut? Mine's the Spanish almonds.
It kind of depends. I love those candied walnuts that you.
That's a good one.
Those are really
they
good.
Have, candied pecans too.
That would also be good. I mean, you can do.
Would you be offended?
No, I wouldn't be. Okay. Actually, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Pouring us a little more for those who aren't watching.
Pour one out for your dead homies here.
Did.
But like, here's another thing you could do. So you could say take pecans. You'd have a candied version. You'd have a spicy version. You'd have
you can make a nuts charcuterie board.
You could.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That's a little nutty.
Yeah. but
like how I did that?
You could have like a few different types of the same nut on a board.
Oh, yeah.
And just for fun.
Yeah.
Now I'll say this. This would never go on my charcuterie board at home because my wife despises olives. But
we need to. The list of what she doesn't like is way too long.
It's very long.
I need to know what she does like.
Yeah,
that's a shorter list.
It really is. So
cow.
as long as you play by those rules that she specifies in a contract, then you're able to cook for her.
So she doesn't like olives.
Nope.
But lingua, she's fine with.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like there's no explaining it. But
not that I'm opposed to lingua. I like it too. But most people would pick olives over
the lingua king.
Is it the brininess of olives?
I don't know.
Who would call you that?
The one that doesn't eat olives.
Okay.
But anyway, so like I like olives, but I really like it when you do the feta cheese stuffed olives.
Bingo. I'm a stuffed. So top 3 stuffed. I would go blue cheese.
Blue cheese. I'm
Feta's okay, but I'm a big fan of blue cheese.
Beautiful. I love that.
Jalapeno.
Oh yeah,
and a big clove of garlic. Those are my 3 favorite stuffed olives. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's something else stuffed that I like. You got a pimento in there. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, the pimento's fine. I mean, that's just the normal
standard.
I'll eat it. But like even when I order a martini, I'm like
blue cheese.
I'm like blue cheese,
yeah.
And then I tell them, if you're gonna bring me one of those olives on a stem, a cocktail stem, make sure you just fill it all the way up.
Oh yeah, I'm with you there.
Give me all of the olives.
Yep.
So
every couple sips, I want a bite.
Yeah. I mean,
and you dip it in the martini.
So good. It's so good.
Olives is a very good call. I think
a tapenade is also very nice.
I think now we're getting into something with spreads and things. So let's start here. Give me your top 5 must be on it. We're just going to call it an appetizer board, not a featured board. You're having some guests over. You're going to put a board together. Top 5 kind of things that are on there. If you want me to go first, I will, to give you kind of an idea of what we're talking about.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so cheeses.
Yeah.
Meats, like you heard me say.
Yep.
I'm going to say fruits have to be on there, some kind of fruit.
Okay.
I like a fruit. Just the acidity in a fruit usually kind of cleanses the palate.
Nice
usually
to
you
have
have
with
some
it.
wine that does that too. And plus, it just makes me feel like I'm a little healthier if I'm having some fruit mix in there.
Nothing like sugar-laden grape to make you feel good about yourself.
Exactly. Some kind of a spread or a sauce. Usually we're going to have a softer cheese. So whether it's a honey or it's a fig jam.
I like that.
Or it's something, something like that needs to be on there. And then for my fifth one, I'm probably going to go, olives.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of olives. I was torn between olives and nuts.
Yeah.
But I would go olives.
Okay, so me, I'll start from that. I'll probably go nuts, but olives would be a very close sixth place for me. Meats and cheeses, I mean, that goes without saying. You got to have that.
Yeah.
I like a jam as a spread, but I also,
like the fig jam is one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a good one. But like, I also like a little, sometimes I like a nice mustard there, or
I haven't done that.
Like
a spicy mustard.
Yeah, like a spicy mustard to go along. If you have meats and you got your nice crackers and you put a little spicy mustard on there, that's kind of a nice change of pace. But I'll probably go jams, and then I don't know. I'll tell you one that I almost always put on my my charcuterie board. It's a spread and pimento cheese.
Okay, that's kind of to me, I call that like an accompaniment.
Yeah,
because that goes in its own side dish container with and it's like this big standalone that's got to be around the board. I'll call it.
Yeah. It has its place in a container on the side of the board.
Yeah.
But I will say I'll almost always put it on my charcuterie boards just because I love pimento cheese.
Oh, I do too. It's almost like you're from the South.
Yeah. Go figure. But
weird.
It's just great,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure maybe
That's a good one.
Midwest, maybe they're talking cheese balls and stuff like that.
Well, they don't call them cheese balls.
What do they call them?
Cheese curds.
Oh, I thought that was just like the thing, like the it's like a curd of cheese, it's like a nugget or something.
And then it gets breaded and fried.
Oh no, those are delicious.
Yeah, that's called the cheese curd.
Those are really damn
Wisconsin
good.
made them famous.
But,
Minnesota, or it may have been Minnesota, one of the two, Minnesota, or Wisconsin. But they've made their way down south, and I think they're even in some places in Texas now, around here.
Yeah.
But cheese curds been around a long time. You go to any bar up in Minnesota or Wisconsin, cheese curds are an appetizer, kind of like pretzels, at another bar.
Oh, well, see, that's another thing. Is like I do like a good. Like a pretzel bite or something like that that's on there.
Pretzels are really good.
And then you have that mustard on there.
Well, that's where I get the mustard out. If I have pretzels on the board,
okay,
then a little thing of mustard to dip in. There's not a better bite. Well, I will say that bite's up there. There might be something better, but it's a quality bite, a pretzel and a mustard.
Okay, I'm going to tell you another one that I almost always put on the board now.
Okay.
That my wife, I will give her credit here. So pickles are a big deal in Russian culture.
Okay. Love pickles.
And so they do these like little gherkins. They're kind of they have just a hair of sweetness to them, but they're real briny and bright and everything. Man, I love having a little bowl of just the gherkins there just to go to, pop them.
But I'm a dill gherkins. I'm not the sweet.
Yeah, me, I like.
But it sounds like you're talking about something that's kind of a hybrid.
It's kind of a hybrid. I feel like you
do they sell them here in the States?
Yeah, you can get them at the Russian store.
Oh, at the Russian store.
Yeah, okay. But you probably had them at our house before.
I'm sure I have. I probably devoured them.
Oh yeah, they're delicious. So pickles on a board, I think are definitely something I like.
I'm also a fan of, when we talk about a board, you heard me say about the accompaniments that go around the board, because not everything fits exactly on the board, but it's part of the party.
Yeah.
For one, my wife makes is bruschetta.
Oh yeah,
she'll make
that's super good.
Toasted little toast bread, and she makes the tomato bruschetta with the balsamic and the garlic and the olive oil and tomatoes, and then you just kind of spoon that on, and it's a nice little bite.
Well, I think that kind of bleeds into another thing that you gotta talk about here, and it's the crackers, the delivery mechanism, that you have.
Oh, I think that's huge.
So crackers are always nice. I like a good wheat cracker. I like a good, water cracker. They've got different things.
You get an herb cracker.
An herb cracker, things like that.
Sesame.
All good. But I will say, there is something that if you take the time to do it, making your own little crostinis,
that's what we do with the...
Oh, yeah, and that's what led me to that. Is just having that, not even from the bruschetta, but just having it for the board.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, it's a good eat.
Yeah.
You're talking about just putting cheese and stuff on it. Yeah, it's a good eat for sure.
Or you cut these up, you make these kind of crostinis, you rub a clove of garlic on the top of it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm with you 100%.
That's nice.
Okay. Trying to think here if there's anything else that's obvious that we're leaving off.
I mean, the fruit thing I like. I'm more of a berry guy.
Usually it's strawberries and blueberries if I'm going berries.
Yeah.
But I do like some apples and pears on there.
That's not bad. I like pears, and apple.
They both go with brie and honey. Pears probably a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, I like brie and I like honey. And
And then now I'm eating fruit, and I feel better, even though I'm probably not doing any better, but I feel better.
You feel better about yourself. An underrated nut, pistachios.
Is it underrated?
I think it's appropriately rated, but I want to see them more on my charcuterie board.
I would agree with you there. And the thing it's a versatile nut as well, because you can get like a spicy pistachio. You can get... sweet. You can get... I don't know that I've ever seen any kind of candied pistachio.
I don't think I've seen that. I've seen it in ice cream.
But just a just a standard pistachio is solid.
Oh my gosh.
But you got to spend the extra bucks to get the shelled. Don't buy the with the shell on it and try to do it at home. And don't put the shell out there.
Yeah, that's too much, man.
A charcuterie board is lazy food, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
It's just to pick it up, eat it, and move on. Not to take time doing, Same with like shrimps. Don't, shell your shrimp or any kind of shell food. Have it shelled. It just needs to be ready to be eaten.
There's a difference between a charcuterie board and a low country boil. That's
a good point.
You don't just have a bunch of, boiled shrimp on there,
did want to ask you something about crackers.
Okay.
I have the opinion that you should have diversity in your crackers. Don't put one cracker on the board.
I'm a cracker, and I feel like you're attacking me right now.
Have some diversity. Put multiple styles and flavors of crackers out.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Now, if it's just me and my wife and we're making a little board for us, I might just go the one cracker out.
Yeah.
But when you have guests over, having a variety, because a different type of cracker with a different kind of cheese.
It makes a huge difference.
Makes a big difference. So
I actually like and my wife loves these. They're you can get them at H-E-B, like one of the big grocery stores here, or Kroger, or like probably any big grocery store you guys are in your city. But they have kind of these interesting like little toasts that have like some fruits kind of baked into them. It's almost like a little cracker toast thing that's got like either like a fig in there.
Are they in the cracker aisle?
They're in the cracker aisle.
I think I've seen those.
Or like a cranberry,
yes.
A dried blueberry or something like that. And yeah, those are really nice to have.
Okay, I think I've seen those.
And they actually have some like nuts kind of in them too. Like so, it's like it's got like a kind of a neat little mix of a lot of things.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. Another accompaniment that I think, you put a little tray out by your board of a good kind of goes with the charcuterie board kind of thing, are the cups. And by cups, I mean you get your mini cupcake tray. Not the big size, but the little ones.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
And you get like your puff pastry.
Oh, yeah.
And you can fill it up with a tomato cup, like a spicy tomato with some cheese and stuff in there, with a little bit of chorizo or something. Or you can fill it up with a brie and some sauteed mushroom and stuff like that. Or you could put some taco meat in there with a jalapeno on top or something. And making these little cups that you can then just put out on a platter are a great, just a quick...
Oh, yeah. Well, I'd say one thing that my wife makes a lot of is she'll do like in those mini cups, she'll do like a pastry that has like brie and maybe like a little jam on top of it.
Yes.
And kind of like bake it in the oven or whatever. And, you know, whether it's a fig jam or, a cranberry type jam or something like that, you know, like those are really good.
You know, another one that's good in the cup? Some caramelized onions with bacon jam, a homemade kind of bacon jam.
Yeah, bacon jam.
Fill it in, throw just a little touch of brie on top, and throw that in the oven. Let it, and that's a solid one. I'm a big fan of the caramelized onions.
I'll tell you this, something I do really like is, and I make this often, and it could easily go on a board, is bacon wrap stuffed dates.
You just took it out of my mouth. Yep.
I mean, those are great. If you didn't want to do bruschetta, and I think I've done this before when you guys came over, is doing like the bruschetta or the caprese salad skewers. Like, you got like
those are a great idea. Because a caprese salad, you put 3 big tomatoes out and everybody takes it. Doesn't go very far.
Yeah,
but you can make, to your point, you can buy the thing of the mozzarella cheese. Cherry tomatoes. Great point, Carter.
Yeah, and a little balsamic, vinegar
basil,
or whatever, and man, that's a really, really, really nice appetizer.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, something just to put on a board.
No, I think that's a really good one,
and it has that appearance of being healthy.
It does have the appearance of being healthy. I've got basil in there.
Yeah, you got some green.
Yeah,
you got the Italian flag.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
but anyway, yeah. I mean, like, there's so many different things that you can do. I mean, what do you think about dried fruit on a charcuterie board?
Well, I'll be honest and tell you, I'm not a big dried fruit
apricots.
No.
Okay. I know you don't like the raisins. That's a known thing.
I'm trying to remember what was the old candy dessert that was the roll-ups or something? Fruit roll-ups.
Fruit roll-ups.
Never a fan.
Oh man, I'm gonna put that on my next charcuterie board. Just a bunch of fruit roll-ups, just in a pile there.
It won't get touched by me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, are you a dried fruit?
I do like dried fruit. Yeah, I think it's good. Have like a brie and a dried fruit, and that's a nice combination.
Here's what I've not done that I wish I would do more of with me and my wife, and I'm going to try to do more of this. Is a picnic board.
Okay.
Making a charcuterie type board in a container, some kind of travel container that you could say, hey, we're going to go out to the park and have a little picnic. We're going to take up cheeses, meats, whatever, fruits, and a bottle of, for my baller friend here, champagne.
Yeah, well, naturally.
Naturally. Yes. And, you don't see that as much. And I read about it in a charcuterie book that I was reading with all these different creative ideas for boards, and one was the picnic board.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a great idea.
That's
Doesn't
awesome.
have to be huge.
Yeah.
It could be 3 cheeses, 2 meats, some fruits and stuff. But to go out and hang out, especially when you get into the nice kind of weather.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Yeah. I like that.
Never seen that before.
Yeah. I'm thinking of other things. I mean, there's so many different spreads and things like that.
How about this? Holiday boards.
Okay. Like holiday themed?
4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas. You're going to have some people over just to, say hello. A little open house at the house because it's the holidays.
You got to do it on the 4th of July board. You have to put mini corn dogs.
Oh, you got to have the mini corn dogs. And you got to do the little the little sandwiches, the little half hot dogs.
Oh,
sandwiches.
Yeah. That's great. Bring you back
sliders. You can't go full big. Sliders can be on there.
Well, hey, now that's an idea though for a board, is actually doing sliders on a board.
Oh, you could do a variety of sliders on a board.
That would be.
'Cause I've done slider night here where we buy 5 or 6 different kinds of little slider meats with different whatever.
Yeah, and
then you just build them, and everybody grabs different ones.
I mean, you could do burger sliders, but you could also do like pulled pork sliders. You could do
well, now you're singing.
Yeah,
that's a better idea.
You're doing
do some hamburgers. You do some hot chicken.
Yeah,
you do some pulled pork.
You got variety.
Oh yeah, you could do I don't know, little Philly cheesesteak slider.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be real good.
Maybe get some little Philly cheesesteak buns and put on there or something.
Hey, mini BLT sandwiches.
Oh.
Take that loaf of bread and just cut it into.
How about a sandwich charcuterie board? Just different sandwiches.
I think that absolutely could happen.
With different chips all around. You can have your Fritos and your Pringles.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
That's an idea.
A sandwich charcuterie board.
A sandwich board.
I love this. So it's not
this
just
might happen.
It's not just for wedding parties, like
hell no.
or tea parties.
No,
you can make this like a really nice thing.
Let me ask you: on your sandwich board,
does
PB&J make it?
No.
Oh, for me it does.
Does it?
Oh yeah. I'm
on a sandwich board?
Oh hell yeah! PB&J's classic.
I wouldn't do that.
And crust on. I'm a crust guy.
Well, me too. I don't cut the crust off.
Yeah.
I guess there is some exception. I mean, like sometimes you want like that. It's more of an appearance thing than it is like to me. I mean, I enjoy eating the crust, but maybe it's an appearance thing.
I guess so.
Looks
a little cleaner.
It looks uniform or something. Okay. I guess.
What's a simple sandwich that would make the board for Carter?
BLT is one of them.
Do you call that simple?
Yeah, it's bacon, lettuce, tomato. That's it.
Okay. I just think about you got to cook the bacon and
I guess
a simple sandwich you're not really cooking. You're just pulling it out of the fridge.
Pimento cheese sandwich.
Oh, that's a good one. See now that I grew up eating pimento cheese sandwiches, and I don't see it anywhere anymore. It's always just on crackers.
Yeah, I eat it on the sandwich.
Do you see it anywhere served on a sandwich?
No.
Okay, I don't either.
Hardly ever. I mean, if I do, it's a real one-off thing.
That's a good one. That's a pimento cheese
like a pimento
sandwich.
cheese, and that's pretty simple. I mean, pimento cheese and bread.
Yeah. Holiday boards. Do you like the idea?
Yeah.
I mean, I think
not?
Christmas, like we talked about, you could do a Christmas board and get kind of fun with that.
Yeah.
New Year's would be a great time to do a board when you're having a bunch of people come over.
Honestly, that's probably the best thing to do.
That might be the best time to do a board.
Have it ready before everybody gets there and just, here you go. Here's dinner,
Put your wine in the fridge. Everybody gets started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be way better.
Trying to think, what are some other holiday boards or special kind of boards? Here's an idea, You could take whatever your significant other loves and on her birthday or his birthday, do the birthday board.
Definitely
and
could
build
do that.
Something of all his or her favorite foods.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
I like that. I mean, gosh. I mean, I do a board for Thanksgiving every year. But
do you really?
Yeah, but not for the main, but I do create a nice size board.
Well, you do that's another topic, but the day after dishes are pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Those are great.
Yeah.
That different episode for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But, I'd say birthday, or you could even do like gosh, I mean, 4th of July definitely could do that.
That's a fun one. That could be, because when you think 4th of July, usually it's cooking out, which is fine. But I'm still trying to think of, especially if you're somebody who has a pool, and you got people coming over, you don't want to be manning the grill for hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken. You could build a 4th of July themed board, have it done. Everybody shows up.
Yeah.
And boom, you're done.
Well, what about a football board? Like doing it for you're having the boys over and
you got the queso on there.
Yeah, you just do like a watching football board.
Oh yeah, I like that one. As far as themed for food, what about like a Mexican themed where you have some tacos on there?
I like this idea. Now that we kind of talked about that offline, but what do you think about having you got the little tacos, you got some guacamole, you got some,
put some empanadas on there, some gorditas, some.
You could really make it very interesting.
Oh yeah, you can make it very interesting with different kind of rices. You could do a cilantro rice, a Spanish rice, charro beans, refried beans.
Oh yeah, different salsas,
a green, a red, spicy.
I mean,
you could go a lot of different ways
that could be really
with a
good.
Mexican board.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're just talking to show you how creative you can be with
with charcuterie boards.
So I think everybody gets into this. It's got to be cheese and cured meat.
Yeah,
and some fruit, nuts, and that's it. And that's what makes it a board. But I think a lot of times we miss the opportunity to get a little more creative and have a little fun with the board. And again, it comes back to you're trying to maximize the time you spend with friends, and building a board like that, having it done before your guests arrive just frees up the rest of the night.
Yes, 100%. Love it.
It's another reason I give the Italians a lot of credit, because all of their food is made in such a way, one, it's either quick and easy, or it can be made ahead of time and ready to be served, at a time. Italians know how to, enjoy, have good food, but spend time with
their company.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's a page out of their book.
Yep. I like it.
Well, fun conversation, man.
Yeah, man. With that, we should go try some of these interesting ideas.
I think
boards.
so. I think the ones that you need to think about is the holiday board, thinking outside the box, and then doing that breakfast board or brunch board.
Yeah,
doing
I do think the
something
brunch board works a lot. That worked well.
Yeah, I think those are where you get out of the comfort zone of what a typical charcuterie board is.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on this episode. And like always, we'll see you on the next one.
Yep. Cheers, guys.
Good to go.
I thought that was